if we're going to use this in the future, if we're going to use this kitchenette space in the future, we could really just put some lights up here. And
some studio lighting.
That was really what I was thinking. And framing for that I know is expensive right now, but in the future, maybe as prices normalize. Not like that's ever going to happen.
What?
Just
Normalize?
some lights right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Let me share this real quick so that other people. Let's see. Jan Nichols is my mom's already on.
Oh my goodness, that was quick, Miss Jan. That was very quick. Well, if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with Timeout Tuesday. Today we are doing something that I don't think we anticipated going into this project.
No, we needed to do it, and I'm gonna get some. I feel like we're about to be in a bind with a mess.
I feel like that consistently in my life, so I'm glad that we're
on the same page.
At that point.
Yeah. So, oh man, see, we already got. Y'all don't even know what's going on yet, and we've already.
You can see our bowl.
Yeah, that's the safety bowl. But what I didn't think about was the countertop and anybody want to guess what's going to happen here in a minute?
Well, this is an antique bowl.
An antique plastic bowl that we got from a antique plastic bowl store.
We actually bought it from Pickers, just straight from the source.
Straight from the source.
But today's project, as you may or may not have seen, that we're preparing for, we're doing some last minute prep on it, was tie-dyeing, which
there's a few reasons.
What are you talking about?
Well, first of all,
the title, what's happening?
Yeah, first of all, we are. Oh my, what are y'all doing? Okay.
Perfect, we got your attention.
That's
yes,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been saying that since we decided to do this. So first of all, we've got a few things coming up. We've got Hope Revived coming up, and we've got
Egg coming up sooner than
coming
that.
up. Yeah,
April 10th.
Which is Easter Gathering at Gloucester, and
Easter, April 17th.
That's right, and then we've got Camp Gloucester coming. So yeah,
sounds like a busy couple months to me.
It is a busy couple months, but I love it. And so what we're going to talk about today is because of an idea we came up for Camp Gloucester.
Specifically for Camp Gloucester.
But we were talking about it, and really with all these events coming up, some of the scripture references that we're going to use during Camp Gloucester and that we've used in the past kind of tell us that we need to do what the scripture says and what we're about to do with this project consistently. So in all these events coming up, we get to utilize what we're going to talk about, but we're going to practice the project on behalf of Camp Gloucester so that we don't mess it up before or when we get to that point. We may mess it up royally now, but at least we'll know.
At least that's... We've actually, I think each of us have individually used that phrase in our lives over the past couple weeks, couple months, is that there aren't losses, there are learning opportunities.
Yeah, you don't...
Right?
It's not win or learn. Yeah, it's win or learn, not win or lose. Win or learn, yeah.
So we're either going to win today when it comes to making
we're about to learn
cool tie-dye shirts, or we're going to learn.
I'm leaning towards the learn because it's me and you.
You're being negative, Coach Caleb. Let's
no.
If you've stuck by us this long, we didn't intend for this to be one of the 35 or 40 minute Timeout Tuesday episodes, but we're going to try and draw everything in. We're going to do our art project to the most efficient, best of our abilities.
Oh man!
You're gonna have to wait.
So we're gonna tie dye a shirt. And it's a small shirt, obviously.
It's not gonna fit Caleb or I.
No. Yeah. I can't shop at Baby Gap anymore. But it's a shirt about this size, and one of the things that we're called to do, especially through Scripture in Matthew that we've talked about before, is to stand out.
Absolutely.
And so. Come Easter, we have an opportunity to stand out to people who may not have been in church in a long time. Come time for Hope Revived, we may have people that don't really know what our hope's about. We've got an opportunity to stand out. Come Camp Gloucester, if we're believers, we've got an opportunity to stand out. We want to teach the kids what it means to stand out, and not just stand out as a person, stand out as a believer.
Absolutely, and standing out as a believer is what we're trying to get at with this tie-dye project is that when our lives are changed by the power of the gospel, the good news of Jesus, this white shirt, it's going to look a lot different. It's going to look a lot different.
That being said, I want to just mention, to see the final result because of the tie-dye process, you are going to have to wait and come back for part 2 next week, where we'll open up the shirt and reveal everything.
And you're going to get to, really, the pitch there that you're making is to see whether we won or we learned.
Whether we won or we learned, and also that sometimes standing out means that there is a time process. Like, it doesn't just always happen right away.
I think we have that even in the notes for today, is that sometimes when it comes to the learning process about what it means to be changed by Jesus.
That's right.
And to change the world for Jesus, some patience is required there.
Yeah, and I'm not a super patient person when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I'm like, I want to see it now. But because of the way God has worked in my life, I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to wait 6 to 8 hours before I rinse the shirt and all the things, and then next week we'll reveal it to everybody. But anyway,
Chef Caleb, why don't you show everybody the ingredients that we're working with today?
So what we're working with, first of all, we're working with Scripture.
Yes.
Okay.
Matthew chapter 5, if you want to start turning.
Yep. Matthew chapter 5, verses 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 13 through 16. So Matthew chapter 5, 13 says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall it be salty and restored? If it's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled on under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill, set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see the good works and give glory to the Father who is in heaven." And salt was used for a lot of different things.
Yes.
Yeah, even when it was
we could
lost,
be here all day talking about the purposes of salt.
But what that scripture tells us is that even if it's lost its taste, it still has a use, but it's not as useful. Thrown out for people to trample on. That's how they harden the ground out there. So even sometimes when we've gotten to a point where we're not allowing ourselves to be used by God, sometimes we get trampled on and woken up. And a lot of people don't realize that about salt. Wages were paid in salt. The Roman guards were paid their wages in salt. A whole lot of other things.
Absolutely.
Preserving meats, all kinds of things.
Yep.
And as far as a light goes, that's really obvious. Like when you
that's
put
one of our favorite analogies to use during kids and student ministries, because the kids really grasp this. It's such a visual analogy.
Yeah, because if you have a light, there's no amount of darkness that can overcome a light to put it out. Now, there's an amount of light that can overcome darkness, even in the smallest form. And so we're called to stand out. That's what the light that they're talking about, that Matthew was talking about, represents, is that light on a hill, You
and Abby even pointed that direction some last week in the way you were talking about being walking testimony. I would even add something to that, which is the shirts that we ended up ordering, which were tie-dyed a couple of years ago when we had to do in-house student camp, which Caleb played a tremendous part in. Caleb Jen, our office staff, was incredible in helping with our student ministry.
Matt decided to take vacation is all it amounts to.
But when we made the decision to order tie-dye shirts, part of that was because it's a little bit easier to blend in with a white shirt. You can wear it around town.
Just a plain
wear
shirt,
a pair of jeans. It's very plain. It doesn't really make an attempt to draw attention, but when you are changed by Jesus, or when you put on a tie-dye shirt, there's a necessary attention-grabbing aspect of that.
Absolutely.
So that light cannot be hidden in that way.
Yep, that's absolutely right. So there's a process. It starts with.
We're going to see the process right now.
It starts with a blank shirt. It starts with a blank shirt, right? And then, if we're using this from a biblical standpoint, there's little sections of our lives that are going to be changed at a time. And so when you make tie-dye, there's a few different ways to do it. We went with the traditional way, but you put rubber bands in sections, right? In each one of these sections.
Did y'all know this is called a bullseye pattern?
I do now.
Or as Jennifer called it earlier,
bullseye.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, so we went with 3 basic tie-dye colors that are real popular. We got some chartreuse here. We got the blue. Oh, there's something on the countertop. Oh my! I'm doing this on live video, and we got purple. Okay, I'm a little nervous. These stains were already here before we started, Matt.
Well, if it wasn't tie-dye, it'd be pizza stains. So
This is true.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go first. What color do we want in the center?
Green.
We do want the chartreuse. Okay.
Yes, or
All right,
chartreuse,
so
I apologize.
So I'm gonna let you apply while I hold the shirt over this bucket, and you just from the rubber band forward, just the end of the shirt.
Just up already.
That's all right. Oh, this is
Supposed to use the whole die kit.
I don't know. That's why this is the learn part of it. Here, let's see. We can dip it down in there.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll make sure and get rid of some of the. All right. What's next?
What are we gonna do next?
Want to do purple or blue?
Why don't we do a Facebook vote?
Hey,
purple or blue? What y'all's preference? I don't know if we're gonna have it in time.
Let's see, Mom, what purple or blue? Because I know you're still with us. And go. And go. Did you walk away from the? Are you just? Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's go.
Aqua.
I think you should put it right up to it,
Okay,
like where
perfect.
Don't put your hands under it because you're gonna end up with like with Smurf
I
hands.
just need this right there. Perfect.
Oh, you gotta take. Okay.
Thought we had caps removed already. Did we not?
No, we
not
didn't
pay
because
enough
I was
to have
afraid
that
of.
done?
I was afraid that it might get on.
Did you say I had Smurf hands if I put this all over my hands?
Are you fixing to intentionally have Smurf hands? Okay, so when Camp Gloucester gets here, automatically, I'm assuming we're going to be ordering a lot of gloves for kids and a lot of smocks.
Absolutely. Just long as they don't have to wear them for family pictures, you know.
Right. Let's see. You know, I'm all like.
Yeah, you have a couple spots.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to kind of bleed over into the other color a little bit, right?
I don't know, man. If you have the white gappings, then make it look cool. Okay, so I feel like what we should have been doing over the course of this process is probably talking about
the fact that that change
doesn't
doesn't happen.
Like the salvation bracelets. Isn't that what we should be doing?
The green in this case, green represents green,
yeah,
and blue represents blue. But this has taken some time, obviously, and.
Yes.
She said blue after we'd already started blue, so like she was great minds.
Yes.
Yeah. And so now we're doing the purple. So this takes some time, obviously, and you got to be careful, and you want to, get good coverage.
That purple is dark, Caleb.
It is dark.
Almost,
And so, if we're thinking about salt and light and the change that we're supposed to be, then we're looking at the fact that as we are changing this shirt, it's obviously not happening all at once. And
in fact, this is the most precise tie-dyeing I think I've ever done. So,
yeah, this one more to make twice for me, period. Whoa. Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to use the whole kit, but I feel like I'm not using enough. I don't know, I like tie-dye now, though. Okay, so now we go back with some green.
We're going to go back green again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to run out of shirt here in a minute.
We're going to run out of dye pretty quick, too, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool. Yeah, there's going to be a brown spot on that one.
I don't know y'all help us out if you're watching. If you're still tuned into this,
okay, go for
the
it.
primary color that comes about from chartreuse and purple.
Fill in that hole right there. My phone's ringing, but I have it on vibrate. It might be somebody calling in a tip. Like, hey, if you would do this.
Y'all are terrible at tie-dyeing. Why don't y'all do it a little bit better?
Yeah.
Maybe we were supposed to. Do you think we were supposed to concentrate the dyes?
Well, they were concentrated.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. Do you think we were supposed to melt down the dyes in water and dip them? Remember the old dippable tie dye?
Oh no, it says to apply it this way. That's what the bottle's for.
Bad instructions.
I think I read that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with some.
One of my memories that I have most of tie-dye stuff was obviously tie-dyeing as a boy. What you would really want to do is just throw whatever article you had and just throw it in the mush. But
All right, I'm
it's very
fixing to
tempting.
make
Okay.
the executive decision
Okay.
to go ahead and just get my hands dyed.
Oh, that's okay. Well, so you're at the top.
Yep. Soak in my soul. Like, did somebody put starch on this before we started it as a joke against us? I feel like it's just like repelling the.
Jennifer, did you do this?
Did Jennifer starch this thing before we?
All right, so
It's definitely going to be changed. And here's the cool part about this, Matt.
I think we're headed the same direction. Caleb,
Is
go ahead.
even if it's a bad
It's a learning
bad
experience.
tie dye,
Yeah,
if it's the learn and not a win,
yeah.
the fact of the matter is this shirt is going to stand out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It might stand out even more if it's poor tie-dye.
Yeah, it might.
So, in the same way that Caleb and I are using this Amazon tie-dye kit to change the composition,
Plug for Amazon there.
the appearance for all eternity of this shirt,
Yeah,
following Jesus
changes you
changes
for all
us,
eternity.
yes.
Can you untie dye a shirt?
No.
No, just like
No.
your salvation,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely not.
All right, we're back to purple. Am I stealing your glory? Did you want to?
No, feel free. You've already. I mean, you demonstrated guts in terms of grabbing the t-shirt and doing with Smurf hands. So feel free to have the glory when it comes.
I
to
think
the
I'm
dye.
holding on to the green, so I'm gonna have.
Oh, is that your hope that the chartreuse won't do the damage that the purple would do?
Oh, I don't know that I had many high hopes. We're also going to display this at the at an event that we're hosting for our district,
Yes.
which is like a VBS workshop that my mom was the queen of workshops, and so I'm going to be doing one of my own, Mom. I'm sure you're proud of that. I guess we're going green for the top. Is that accurate? Maybe do we turn it up and like let it go in there? It's a flower. Whoa. I feel like we're gonna have to go green and blue
Sure.
to get the
Fill in
coverage we
some
want.
gaps.
Yeah.
Let's fill in some gaps. Marks. Toss this one.
Yeah.
Man, if people are still watching us tie-dye this shirt, thank you. for
Thank
tuning
you.
in.
You are so
We
sweet.
love you and appreciate you.
We do, and we know that you're praying for us. And after this, it
yes,
might be a
sincerely.
lot more.
Maybe even more so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So next week we will unveil.
really, that's going to be the cool part is
Yeah.
seeing what has taken the abomination or perhaps great victory that's taking
Yeah.
place in this tie-dyeing process.
Well, and here's the thing. The changes aren't always like kind of like what we're talking about. The changes aren't always
Yes.
comfortable. Like getting dirty
Yeah.
and all that. As a
Yeah.
Christian, it's not always the popular thing, and it's not always easy. And one thing we know for sure is that being a Christian, being a follower of Jesus is not always easy, but the payout, the unveiling of what you become, the new creation that you become, is so worth it. And every one of them, every person is unique. And so every tie-dye shirt is unique when they're changed, and they all have different gifts and things that God gives them. And so yeah, there's a whole lot of biblical principle to tie-dyeing. And Gotta watch later. Appointment. Okay. But yeah, so this has to dry for 6 to 8 hours, and then we'll have to rinse it and then unveil it.
Absolutely.
But next week we will open up the shirt and kind of see the change that it's been transformed into. So tune in next week for that. I'm gonna look for a place to go lay this.
I'm going to go ahead and end live for us. Thank you for tuning in today. We look
Finish
forward to
on the
seeing
bottom.
you